Young Calidore is paddling o'er the lake, his healthful spirit eager and awake to feel the beauty of a silent eve, which seemed full loath this happy world to leave. The light dwelt o'er the scene so lingeringly. He bares his forehead to the cool blue sky, and smiles at the far clearness all around, until his heart is well nigh overwound, and turns for calmness to the pleasant green of easy slopes, and shadowy trees that lean so elegantly o'er the water's brim and show their blossoms trim. Scarce can his clear and nimble eyesight follow the freaks and dartings of the black-winged swallow, delighting much to see it half at rest, dip so refreshingly its wings and breast 'gainst the smooth surface, and to mark anon the widening circles into nothing gone. And now the sharp keel of his little boat comes up with ripple, and with easy float, and glides into a bed of water lilies. Broad-leaved are they, and their white canopies are upward turned to catch the heaven's dew. Near to a little island's point they grew, whence Calidore might have the goodliest view of this sweet spot of earth. The bowery shore went off in gentle windings to the hoar and light blue mountains, but no breathing man with a warm heart, and eye prepared to scan nature's clear beauty, could pass lightly by objects that looked out so invitingly on either side. These, gentle Calidore greeted, as he had known them long before. The sidelong view of swelling leafiness, which the glad setting sun, in gold doth dress, once ever, and anon the jay outsprings, and scales upon the beauty of its wings. The lonely turret, shattered, and outworn, stands venerably proud, too proud to mourn its long-lost grandeur. Fir trees grow around, eye-dropping their hard fruit upon the ground. The little chapel with the cross above upholding wreaths of ivy, the white dove, that on the window spreads his feathers light, and seems from purple clouds to wing its flight. Green tufted islands casting their soft shades across the lake, sequestered in leafy glades, that through the dimness of their twilight show large dock leaves, spiral foxgloves, or the glow of the wildcat's eyes, or the silvery stems of delicate birch trees, or long grass which hems a little brook. The youth had long been viewing these pleasant things, and heaven was bedewing the mountain flowers, when his glad senses caught a trumpet's silver voice. Ah, it was fraught with many joys for him. The warder's ken had found white coursers prancing in the glen, friends very dear to him he soon will see, so pushes off his boat most eagerly, and soon upon the lake he skims along, deaf to the nightingale's burst under song, nor minds he the white swans that dream so sweetly. His spirit flies before him so completely. And now he turns a jutting point of land, whence may be seen the castle gloomy and grand, nor will a bee buzz round two swelling peaches, before the point of his light shallop reaches those marble steps that through the water dip. Now over them he goes with hasty trip, and scarcely stays to ope the folding doors, and on he leaps along the oaken floors of halls and corridors. Delicious sounds! Those little bright-eyed things that float about the air on azure wings, had been less heartfelt by him than the clang of clattering hoofs. Into the court he sprang, just as two noble steeds, and palfreys twain, were slanting out their necks with loosened rein, while from beneath the threatening portcullis they brought their happy burthens. What a kiss, what gentle squeeze he gave each lady's hand! How tremblingly their delicate ankles spondee! Into how sweet a trance his soul was gone, while whisperings of affection made him delay to let their tender feet come to the earth. With an incline so sweet from their low palfreys o'er his neck they bent, and whether there were tears of languishment, or that the evening dew had pearled their tresses, he feels a moisture on his cheek, and blesses with lips that tremble, and with glistening eye all the soft luxury that nestled in his arms. A dimpled hand, fair as some wonder out of fairyland, hung from his shoulder like the drooping flowers of whitest cassia, fresh from summer showers, and this he fondled with his happy cheek as if for joy he would no further seek, when the kind voice of good Sir Raymond came to his ear, like something from beyond his present being, so he gently drew his warm arms, thrilling now with pulses new, from their sweet thrall, and forward gently bending, thank heaven that his joy was never ending, while 'gainst his forehead he devoutly pressed a hand heaven made to succor the distressed, a hand that from the world's bleak promontory had lifted Calidore for deeds of glory. Amid the pages, and the torches' glare, there stood a knight, patting the flowing hair of his proud horse's mane. He was withal a man of elegance, and stature tall, so that the waving of his plumes would be high as the berries of a wild ash tree, or as the winged cap of Mercury. His armor was so dexterously wrought in shape, that sure no living man had thought it hard, and heavy steel, but that indeed it was some glorious form, some splendid weed, in which a spirit new come from the skies might live, and show itself to human eyes. "'Tis the far-famed, the brave Sir Gondibert," said the good man to Calidore alert, while the young warrior with a step of grace came up, a courtly smile upon his face, and mailed hand held out, ready to greet the large-eyed wonder and ambitious heat of the aspiring boy, who as he led those smiling ladies, often turned his head to admire the visor arched so gracefully over a knightly brow, while they went by the lamps that from the high-roofed hall were pendant, and gave the steel a shining quite transcendent. Soon in a pleasant chamber they are seated, the sweet-lipped ladies have already greeted all the green leaves that round the window clamber, to show their purple stars, and bells of amber. Sir Gondibert has doffed his shining steel, gladdening in the free, and airy feel of a light mantle, and while Clorimond is looking round about him with a fond, and placid eye, young Calidore is burning to hear of knightly deeds, and gallant spurning of all unworthiness, and how the strong of arm kept off dismay, and terror, and alarm from lovely woman, while brimful of this, he gave each damsel's hand so warm a kiss, and had such manly ardor in his eye, that each at other looked half staringly, and then their features started into smiles sweet as blue heavens or enchanted isles. Softly the breezes from the forest came, softly they blew aside the taper's flame, clear was the song from Philomel's far bower, grateful the incense from the lime tree flower, mysterious, wild, the far-heard trumpet's tone, lovely the moon in ether, all alone, sweet too the converse of these happy mortals, as that of busy spirits when the portals are closing in the west, or that soft humming we hear around when Hesperus is coming. Sweet be their sleep,